Creative, one of my least favorite things about life also applies to art. Your plans are not always going to work out. On the one hand, that's great because it means you're not locked in, you're not trapped, you're not on some path that you can never find your way off of. But on the other hand, it means that your goals, your dreams, I'm going to make this story exactly this way, or this piece of art is going to place that way in a contest, aren't necessarily going to come true either, and that can be challenging. When I was young, my whole goal as a writer was to be on the shelves in Borders bookstore. Well, Borders doesn't even exist anymore and has not for a long time. And the fact is that the way the industry is, it's almost impossible to get your book in a physical store. I had to learn to be flexible, and I had to figure out what it was that I really wanted, which is where I'm going with this. You may have a goal. You may have something set in mind that you want to accomplish with your art. But underneath that goal is the actual goal that you want. Why did I want to be in Borders? Because that's where I found authors I loved. That's where I found stories that I could dive into and just leave the world behind for a little while. Well, I don't need Borders bookstore to do that. I can, in fact, find readers and give them my stories now without even setting foot in a physical bookstore. What I actually wanted was to be read. What I actually wanted was to give people the same kind of escape that I had. I can do that. I just have to change my mind on what it looks like. Whatever it is that you're planning, creative, I want you to hold on to that. That mountain in the distance, that's real. But it's important to look underneath it and try to figure out what the actual heart of it is. The method for reaching it may not look how you expect, but it doesn't mean you're not going to get there. You can do this, creative. Your idea does not die just because the industry changes. Do not lose hope. Keep creating, keep moving forward, and learn to be flexible about your dream. Now sit down with me and let's make something new.